Ms. Sigels-Ncube.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the General will be sworn in.
Doctor, will you be swearing or affirming?
Swearing.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
I swear that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mwedo, very early, no, in fact, very late last night, I sent a text to Ms. Sigels-Ncube and I asked her to engage you on how best to deal with the doctor's statements. I think they are the longest we've ever had, totaling 170 pages. We would take forever if we were to go through all 170 pages. Ms. Sigels-Ncube, I hope you were able to reach agreement on a practical way in which the statements should be dealt with.
We have, Chair. I did discuss it at length with my learned friend and with, now I'll have to remember to say doctor instead of general, with the doctor, and we have come up with what we think is a practical approach. What is unavoidable, I think, is that we'll probably spend the whole day on just leading the doctor's evidence on both statements, and we will have to arrange a further date for the cross-examination. But we have come to an arrangement that will significantly reduce the need to read from the statement, and we think at this point we're probably about, I would say we've reduced it by about 60% on the first statement. The second one, we'll try and come to an arrangement during tea.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much to both of you for that. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Sigels-Ncube.
Yes, Chair. If I could then just orientate everyone on what is before the commissioners, and then how we propose to deal with the first statement. So, Chair, there are, the first file is file 1 that has the doctor's main statement, which is 1 to page 124.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Chairperson. I thought my learned colleague would remember what we have discussed.
Yes.
There are certain aspects that we need to place on record.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to proceeding. I'm happy to do that maybe after, maybe she may have
yes,
done.
Chair.
But I just wanted to highlight that there are certain aspects that we want to place on record from Dr. Lebeya's side.
Okay.
Yes. Chair, we will get to that once I've dealt with the housekeeping, just so that we know what files we're dealing with. We've got and it's before the doctor deals with his evidence. File 1 is his statement, the main statement, page 1 to 124, which is dated 25 November 2025. Then there are 2 files of annexures that go with that statement. It's file 2 and 3. And then there's file 4, which is the supplementary statement, and that is dated 4 August 2026, and that also has 2 files with annexures, so that would be files 5 and 6. Then, Chair, we've created a core bundle, which are just extractions from exhibits of other streams where Dr. Lebeya's name has featured, which we thought would be relevant for purposes of his evidence. We won't get to that today because it deals with cross-examination matters, but just to place that on record. And then there was a annexure, which is National Instruction 2 of 2001, which General Lebeya had referenced regarding informers and how informers are to be dealt with within SAPS, which we've also included in that bundle. And Chair, we can now deal with the issues before we go to the doctor's statement. It relates to a matter which my learned friend accepts the commissioners have no say in, but it is an issue which I understand the doctor to be very passionate about regarding legal representation for purposes of his appearance at the commission. Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Mwedo.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm indebted to my learned colleague for remembering that one. Chairperson, Commissioners, the issue that Dr. Lebeya is quite keen to place on record, and I need to be very clear, Chairperson, that this is not a preliminary issue. It is just an issue that he wants to place on record regarding his legal representation. Firstly, Dr. Lebeya is here before this commission at his own costs, including, the costs of his legal representation. On 12 November 2025, Dr. Lebeya made a formal application within the SAPS for legal representation. However, that was denied or declined. And this happened through a formal notification dated 6th January 2026. What is evident with the communication that has come through Chairperson and Commissioners is basically that the decision maker in that particular application happens to be one General Musikidi, who, and again, I need to be very careful about it, Chairperson, these are issues that he's going to traverse during his evidence. So it's not something that is being submitted from the bar. So they are in his documents, they are in his main statement. And therefore, this person had actually used to work under him when he was still the head of the DPCI, or the Hawks as we know it. And is one person that he had tasked to investigate the issues relating to one of the streams that my learned colleague is going to traverse, the Port Shepstone matter. And there was a report that came out of that, and there were certain recommendations, and Dr. Lebeya had clearly annotated in that particular report that he needed to discuss a certain paragraph 6 that arise from that particular report. That never happened. It turns out when he made this application, the very same person is the one that becomes the decision maker, who then declines General Lebeya's or Dr. Lebeya's legal representation. Chairperson, what we submit, as I indicated, we are not casting this as a preliminary issues, but we submit that General Musikidi ought to have recused herself from adjudicating that particular matter because of the conflict that is apparent in that particular matter, and also the mere fact that the issue relating to the Port Shepstone drug bust is central as well in this particular commission. That didn't happen as we know it now, and it's on the record, and we submit that the reasons that have been provided by the SAPS for declining that particular application are really frivolous, to say the least, because one of the issues, and I will paraphrase Chairperson because I don't want really to belabor this point that much. One of the issues they raise in the letter is that they, amongst others, they do not, they are not actually inclined to provide legal representation because his version differs with the version of other SAPS witnesses. That is problematic, Chairperson, because, I mean, if one actually reads that, are they implying that there should have been alignment of versions from Dr. Lebeya with the other SAPS witnesses that are appearing before this commission? That is problematic. Dr. Lebeya is here before the commission, and he has willingly, and he has cooperated with the commission since October last year, up until today, with all the postponements that has occasioned, which we don't blame it on the commission. He has remained patient to come here and assist this commission in reaching its objectives. But above all else as well, to clear his name in the manner in which he has been, aspersions has been casted on him. So, Chairperson, what we really submit in this regard is that this needs to be taken in light of what has happened, lately. And we have been instructed that on or about February this year, Dr. Lebeya was subpoenaed to appear before the Hampepe Commission, the one that is dealing with the TRC cases. He made similar application based on the same National Instruction 1 of 2017, which is the guiding document within the South African Police Services. He made similar application. That application was granted. And that was after the one that he submitted for this commission had been declined.
May I find this out? Do you propose asking of us to do anything, or I just want to get an idea why we should be apprised of all this? I'm not being unsympathetic at all, but I just want to get an idea.
Chairperson, what we ask of the Commission, Dr. Lebeya is here to assist the Commission. And we, at the very least, if the Commission finds it appropriate, we submit at least this matter needs to be flagged. We do not deny that. It may very well still be a course of action that he may consider. However, we hold instructions to place these things on record because that actually has potential of inhibiting him in assisting the Commission the best way he can.
You said the verb you used was that this is for the Commission to flag. What does flagging entail exactly? What's its practical effect?
Chairperson, what we submit is that the flagging may very well be that Dr. Lebeya is here. He has always, as far back as February when he was first subpoenaed, he has always been keen to come and assist. This is a commission of inquiry that is actually aimed at getting to the bottom of the issues of criminality and the interference in the criminal justice system. And therefore, we submit, Chairperson, that it is prudent, even though the Commission may just note and not...
Can you please just zoom in on what you mean by flagging in practical terms? What does that entail?
Chairperson, if that may just mean a letter or so, regarding the issues that have been raised, that would be fine by Dr. Lebeya. We understand, and that is why I put a big caveat when I started to say it's not a preliminary issue. We understand that it's not your decision, but if the Commission finds it that there is nothing, even in the by way of just a mere letter, then we will rest it at that. The General is here. He wants to assist the Commission.
I'm not sure. We normally use, we as lawyers normally use standing in the context of litigation, but I will use it loosely here. I will say I'm not sure at all that the Commission would have standing to come and to assist the General in this regard and to write to send a letter, as you suggest, to SAPS about this matter. I'm not sure what standing we would have in that regard. I'm thinking off the cuff here, of course, and again I repeat, I'm not being unsympathetic to the doctor's plight. I don't have to to give legal advice, and in fact I ought not to do so. But I think the best course, I repeat, for the doctor is to review the decision of SAPS, and it doesn't matter that, of course, there are, if it's a budget process, there are time limits. Of course, if you're out of time, you can apply for an extension of that period, all of those things. Of course, if it will be a budget-based review, I don't know what review you might have in mind. And the fact that by the time that review is finalized, General Lebeya will have testified and finalized. It doesn't matter, because if he succeeds and it's held finally that he ought to have been funded, he can be funded at that late stage, and that will still be to his advantage. I should not be doing this, but I guess I just want us to move on and to make the point that I do not think we can come to the doctor's assistance. Just a minute. Yeah, there may also be, as Commissioner Kumalo whispers to me, some internal processes that may first have to be exhausted before litigation.
We accept that, Chairperson. As I indicated when I started, we wanted to, we wanted to place these things on record.
No, I hear you.
It is an issue that Dr. Lebeya felt very strong that it needs to be canvassed. We understand the limitations on your end, and we'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much.
Perhaps while I'm still on my feet, if I may just conclude by just highlighting just one aspect that will come, and we've discussed it with my learned colleague before we came in here. There is a certain portion in the main statement where clearly Dr. Lebeya has indicated that the annexures related to those particular paragraphs is Annexure 9, 19, 35, and 44 that are top secret and classified documents. Dr. Lebeya basically will seek guidance from the chairperson on how to deal with those top secret classified documents when we get to them. He has them in his possession, and will take guidance from the chairperson and the commissioners on how best those issues can be dealt with.
I prefer that we should hear from the two of you how they should be handled, and we'll then decide based on that. So please engage each other on that, and
we'll do that during
and come with a proposal. Thank you. Let's start, please.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Lebeya, can you go to file 1, which has your main statement? And it goes up to page 124. If you could just confirm that that is your signature on page 124.
I have the file, Commissioners.
Do you confirm that that is your signature on page 124?
The signature is mine, Commissioners.
Do you confirm the correctness and truthfulness of your statement?
The content are correct and truthful, and then we shall just indicate when we go on typing errors. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Commissioners, you will note that there are topics, many of them of a legal nature, where the General, if you'll forgive me if I do refer to you as General every now and then, my apologies, Doctor, where he deals with matters of legislation and regulations, regulatory requirements, and what we have agreed there is that because this affidavit will form part of the record which the commissioners will take into account.
Is it an affidavit, though?
A statement, Chair. I don't see a commissioner of oath.
Sorry about that. Please continue, and
Thank
sorry
you.
for the apologies for the interruption.
No problem, Chair. Chair, I was just indicating that there are matters which Dr. Lebeya deals with, which are of a legal nature, where he sets out the laws that govern SAP's operations. We have agreed that because this statement will form part of the record of the Commission, and that the Commissioners will take it into account when preparing the report, that he won't deal with that in his oral testimony, but that it will be noted, and I will have the task of noting that he has mentioned it, highlight the relevant sections only, place it on record, the sections that he addresses, and then we will leave that, which effectively cuts off about 20 to 30 pages of the first statement. We have reached that agreement. And then insofar as the General's background and his service history is concerned, he does traverse matters which predate his appointment as the head of DPCI. He has indicated that there are certain aspects that he does want to highlight. We have also identified certain paragraphs there, which he will read into the record, but the remainder will not be. So you'll just have to bear with us, Chair, as we go through it. Doctor, if we can then start with your statement. Page 1 has the table of contents, and 1 and 2, and we'll start with page 3, which is the introduction. And you basically just set out who you are, and that you are you were a member of SAPS, held the rank of Lieutenant General. You're retired now, and you retired in May of 2025. May I ask you then to also then just at paragraph 1, if you can start with paragraph 1, read that into the record.
And perhaps start with your full names there at the
Yes.
top. Thank you.
Seswancho Godfrey Lebeya. I am an adult male. I was a member of the South African Police Service, SAPS, holding the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head, and the former National Head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, until I retired in May 2025. In this statement, I will also refer to the DPCI by its popular name, the Hawks, at other times. I'm currently practicing law as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa, and I am a member of the Johannesburg Society of Advocates.
Dr. Lebeya, where you say you held the rank of Lieutenant General, in brackets you say appointed as National Head. Are you referring to the Hawks or to the SAPS as National Head?
National Head is in the Hawks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then paragraph 2 we can skip because you have placed that on record, that you confirm the correctness of the statement. And then paragraph 3.
As I said, I was member of the South African Police Service holding the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, in terms of non-renewable contract for a period of 7 years from the 1st of June 2018 until the 31st of May 2025. I retained the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head in bracket R to avoid confusion with the serving members, in this statement, I will give credit where it is due and will indicate where there are some shortcomings, abnormalities, inaccuracies, or wrongdoing.
Thank you. At 4 and 5, you set out what the topics that your statement will address that you've been asked by the Commission to address. So we won't go through that because as we go through your statement, you will deal with those topics. Then if we can go to page 6, paragraph 6.
The gist of the issues that relate to me emanate from the opinions of witnesses A and B. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who voiced the concerns on their behalf on the 6th of July, 2025, have left it to them to present the evidence as he did not repeat same in his testimony. The allegations is that I was called by Katiso Molefe to send the Hawks to disrupt a legitimate police operation. Based on the opinion of witnesses A and B, Lieutenant General Khumalo draws an inference that the Hawks were at the scene to interfere with the operation.
May continue, 7.
It is my submission that the presence of multiple law enforcement agencies at the scene in Sandton on the 6th of December 2024 is indicative of a significant failure in the planning and the coordination of the operation. This situation reflects poorly on the effectiveness of the preparatory processes, as it suggests a lack of unified command and insufficient communication among the involved parties. Responsibility for such a lapse belongs to the overall leader of the operation. It is the duty of the operational leader to ensure that all the affected state agencies are adequately briefed and that their roles are clearly defined to avoid overlap, confusion, or unintended consequences. The inability to synchronize the actions of the various law enforcement units undermined the integrity of the operation and exposed serious shortcomings on leadership and operational oversight.
Can I just ask you there, General, you refer to all the affected state agencies, but you don't say who those agencies are.
The affected state agencies in this regard will be the Hawks as a part of a state agency, and the greater SAPS, such as the Organized Crime Unit, the station involved, the SAPS at Sandton. So those are the other state agencies that I'm referring to.
Okay, thank you. And then at paragraph 8.
The questions to be asked are, was this concentration of law enforcement agencies at the scene in Sandton preventable? What should have been done to prevent such occurrence? Who should have ensured that that did not happen when it was happening? And the leader was kept abreast with the developments. What did he do to defuse the situation? Was the custodian of the information of this operation not the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence, who is the custodian of information and intelligence in the SAPS? Is the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence not the service provider of all operational environments in the SAPS? Are all operational environments, including the DPCI, not his clients?
Can I just ask you, are these rhetorical questions or do you address them in your evidence? Do you answer them or are you asking us to answer these questions?
I'm asking witnesses A and B and whoever is suggesting that I have sent the members of the SAPS to the Hawks to go and interfere with the legitimate operation.
Thank you. Paragraph 9.
A confrontational atmosphere was established where various units had to respond effectively to the events purported to be taking place in Sandton on the 6th of December 2024. That atmosphere might have led to unintended outcomes, including the possibility of friendly fire. Applying the conditio sine qua non theory, which refers to a condition without which nothing, or simply but for, one may reasonably conclude that if Lieutenant General Khumalo had informed me, as the national head of the DPCI then, about the operation, or if upon receiving a report about the presence of the members of the Hawks at the scene, he had checked with me, the situation would not have occurred. It is unfortunate that he cited the issue of trust.
10.
It is vital from the outset, it is vital to mention from the outset that the correct position which will be demonstrated is as follows. I do not know Mr. Katiso Molefe. I was not contacted by Mr. Katiso Molefe. I was contacted by Malcom X. I directed 2 senior managers to verify the allegations of persons who were said to be claiming to be members of the DPC